Hello guys, I'm just checking the audio and video. Give me a moment. Just give me a moment. Yes, it's there. Guys, I'm just checking. Yes, perfect. So let's wait for everyone for a minute. Let everyone come. Let everyone come. We'll wait for a minute. Then we'll start our session. So yes, so let's start our session for today. Okay. Hi, good evening everyone. I welcome you all in Let's Crack JEE in English, and this lecture is for Parabola 2. Hi SVM, good evening. Okay, so let's start our session. So before starting the session, so let me revise whatever we have done yesterday. So we have spoken about equation of the parabola and its different forms. We have also spoken about the terminology we are using in this chapter. We have also studied this position of a point with respect to parabola. So today we'll be talking about the condition for conic section, terminology and tangents also. Okay, so those who are joining me the very first time, this is Nishant Khanduja. I graduated and post-graduated from IIT Bombay. My rank in IIT was 1256. In AIEEE it was 363. In Rajasthan pre-engineering test, the rank was 4. Before starting teaching, I used to trade in US and Canadian markets. I have 8 years of teaching experience, and this teaching experience does not include any institutional coaching experience. Not at all. I had been always a private tutor. I mentored individual students, those who couldn't perform really well in coaching institute, or maybe they didn't get a chance to go to coaching institute. I mentored them, and out of 10, my 4 students are already there in IITs, and 2 of them they appeared this year. So let's see what the results is. Now the reason being me not getting associated with any coaching institute is very simple, that when I was preparing for IIT, I didn't go to any coaching institute, and based on my self-study and whatever my teacher helped me, I cracked IIT's exam. So I always think there would be many people, many students like me, those who can't go to these coaching institute, but they still have the right to prepare for these examinations. There should be someone who can just guide them and make them clear this examination. So with the same thought process, I joined Unacademy, because Unacademy is right now running India's largest campaign for IIT, that is Crack IIT JEE. And here I'm doing my bit by teaching mathematics for IIT JEE. Now what you need to do, what my students, those who want to have the education, those who want to share, I want to share my experience, those who want to gather my observations, experience, they only need to install Unacademy learning app. When they install it, they get 2 options: plus subscription and iconic subscription. So in Plus subscription, the very first thing, they get to study from India's top educators. Be it from that educator could be from Kota, Delhi, Indore, Hyderabad, from any place in this in our country. So you just need to be at home and you'll be studying from those top educators. They'll be delivering you everyday live classes. So these live classes are different from YouTube live classes. You'll get different sort of experience in these live classes. I would say it is very much close to the offline classroom experience. And you also have structured courses. So these structured courses are, I can say, you do not need to study different books and do repetitive questions. Everything is sorted for you by these top educators so that you study precisely, so that you do not waste your time. You can attempt live tests and quizzes and evaluate your progress. You also have the unlimited access to the recorded videos by every educator on this application. You want to revise it, you want to just let's say you missed a video due to some commitment, you can just watch those video n number of times, be it 10 times, be it 100 times, whatever, whenever, you can just watch those videos. Whereas in Iconic subscription, you have all the plus benefits. Apart from these plus benefits, you also get these 3 extra benefits. Now what are these 3 extra benefits? First, you get personal coach. So this personal coach is like a mentor. The way I mentored those individual students, and we could see, I could literally say that yes, they literally gave up when they approached me, and right now they are literally there in IITs. How? Because I mentored them, I looked after their progress, I helped them to strategize for the examination, what exactly they need to do. So similarly, you get personal coach here on this application when you go for Iconic subscription. You also get test analysis report. So this test analysis report helps you to reduce your negative marking. Once you start reducing your negative marks, you see that whatever your hard earned positive marks, you are trying to save them. When you try to save them, you are getting overall good positive score, which will help you to get better ranks. We also have study planners, because sometimes we find people, those who don't have enough time because they have commitment for 11th and 12th board. So how can we help them out to plan for IIT JEE? So based on their availability, we try to design the course. Okay, so now comes how to subscribe them. What you need to do is, see, you get 3 options: 6 months, 12 months and 24 months. People those who are there in 12th standard or 11th standard, I must recommend they should go for 2 years package. The reason is very simple, because this is the preparation for 2 years. No one would like to interrupt the preparation. You want to prepare till the examination gets over. So better you go for 2 years subscription. And then during this time, the teacher has understood you. You have also understand the teacher, so how he teaches, and he would monitor your progress. So till your examination gets over, you should have this subscription. So if you pay for this, you have to pay what? 56,000 rupees. But you apply my code, that is NK001, it would cost you what? 50,400 rupees. Whereas students, those who are there in 12th standard or they are dropper, they must go for 1 year subscription, and the cost would be for this 1 year subscription is 38,500 rupees. If you apply my code NK001, it would cost you what? 34,650 rupees. Whereas for Iconic subscription, it differs. For Iconic subscription, 2 years package costs you guys 86,000 rupees, but you apply my code NK001, it costs you what? 77,400 rupees. Similarly, for 1 year, it becomes 50,400 rupees after applying my code NK001. Okay, so that's your part that you need to do whenever you feel like, go for it. If you feel comfortable, Go for it. I have been asked this question many times, sir. I don't know whether this subscription will be fruitful for me or not. Then if people are having this sort of doubt, I would suggest try for a month. Once you try it, once you get the hang of it, go for 2 year subscription, because there is no point in wasting time. Trust me. Okay. So before starting our session, we would do our daily ritual, that is meditation. So we'll be meditating for 3-4 minutes. So as I direct, you need to just do the same. So let's close your eyes. Okay guys, close your eyes. Once you close your eyes, just focus on your breath. How you are inhaling, how you are exhaling. That's it. Just focus on your breath. Let's make it very normal, organic. Don't try to just force it. Okay. Now, when I say 1, you guys are going to inhale. When I say 2, you are going to exhale. So it's like we are controlling the breath. 1, hold your breath. 2, 1, hold your breath. 2, 1, hold your breath. 2. Okay. Now when I say 1, you guys are going to inhale, but when I say 2, 3, 4, you guys are going to exhale gradually. Don't make it quick. Okay. 1. Now hold your breath. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Again, let's do it. 1. Hold your breath. 2, 3, 4. 1. Hold your breath. 2, 3, 4. Now when I say 1, 2, 3, so I want all of you to just inhale, then hold your breath, and when I say 4, so I want all of you to exhale in one go. Okay, sounds good. Let's do it. Just focus on your breath. That's it. 1, 2, 3. Hold your breath. 4. 1, 2, 3. Now hold your breath. 4. 1, 2, 3. Hold your breath. 4. Now when I say 1, you guys are going to inhale, but when I say exhale, we all are going to chant Om. Okay, so let's do it. 1. अपने पाम्स को रब कीजिए और अपने फेस पर एक gentle massage. Okay, do a gentle massage on your face and gradually open your eyes. So how are you feeling, guys? Concentrated? Feeling relaxed? There should be calmness. There should be a calmness in you. And just focus, just concentrate on one thing, that yes, I am here to learn. Let's not worry about any sort of pressure, any sort of competitiveness. Let's not worry about it. Just think that we are here to learn. That's it. Okay, so we are starting our session with this question. Okay, so let's start. So here we left yesterday. I left on the general equation of parabola. So from here only we will start. The question is, find the equation of the parabola whose focus is what? Minus 1 comma 1 and directrix is 4x plus 3y minus 24 is equal to 0. You have to find its axis, its vertex, its length and the equation of the lattice rectum. Okay, so how many things we need to find? We need to find the axis, we need to find the vertex, we need to find the length and the equation of the lattice rectum. What is lattice rectum? Tell me. Focal chord what? Which is perpendicular to the axis. So that is your lattice rectum. Okay, so I give you guys 1 minute. I would say 1.5 minutes because yes, we have to find 4 things. So I would give you 1.5 minutes. You can answer one by one. And if you need any help, you're free to ask. If you have any doubt, you're free to ask. Come on, SYM24, start solving. Oh, so SYM24 says 4A. SYM24, do you think that, do you really see that there is a term called A? There is no term called A. So just be smart enough. Don't answer it randomly. We are not looking for flukes. Remember that. See, as I always say, positive marks are always hard earned. And in these competitive examination, whatever marks you gain because of your hard work, we are not supposed to lose that, because negative marking takes you almost 500 ranks away when I'm talking about when you are cracking the IIT. Because I know what marks on, I got 279, so on 279 there were 150 people and my rank was what, 1256. And the guy who got what, 280, he was there on 1100 something. So I know it matters a lot. So yes, every single mark matters. So yes, we are not going to go for negative marking. So let's check. Let's try this question. So see, this question is from basic. Now what is the basic? The definition of parabola is what? Definition of parabola is, it's the path of a point whose distance from the focus from a given point and the line is what, that line is called directrix, is always equal. Okay, so let's do that. So let's say this point is what, h comma k. So distance from this focus is what, root of h plus 1 whole square plus k minus 1 whole square is equal to what, mod of 4h plus 3k minus 24 upon root of 16 plus 9, root of 25. That would become what, 5. Correct? Let's square both the sides. What do I see? I see 5 h square plus 5 plus 10h plus 5k square plus 5 minus of 10k is equal to what? Is equal to 16h square plus 9k square plus 24h k. Correct? Now minus what? Come on guys, say it. And then we'll have 24 square. 24 square is what? 576. Correct? 576. Then we have what? Minus 48. What? Minus of 48 multiplied with 4h. So 4h and plus of 3k. Clear? Okay. So let's simplify this. When we try to simplify this, what do I see? I see that it becomes what? 11h square. I also see it became what? 4k square, 11h square, 4k square. SIM says axis is what? What is the axis? See, axis is very simple to. Hi Romil, how are you? Okay, so this is what? Yes, SIM 24 axis will be this. Why? It's very easy because the slope will be the axis slope will be what? Perpendicular to the directrix and will be passing from the focus. So it's easy to figure out. Absolutely right. So I am leaving the question here, but I am just answering what SYM 24 has written. So slope will be what from here? Minus 4 by 3. Perpendicular slope. So your axis slope will be what? 3 by 4. And so y minus 1, 3 by 4, x plus 1. So we can just solve this. So 4y minus 4 is equal to 3x plus 3. So answer will be 3x minus 4y plus 7 is equal to 0. So as SYM is written, so his vertex is clear. So when you know the vertex, so intersection of vertex and directrix will give you a point. So that point and focus is midpoint. So focus is midpoint minus 1 comma 1, and this intersection midpoint will give you what? Vertex. So that's how you can find the vertex. Clear? I hope everything is clear to SYM 24. And length of, he says length of, I don't know, length of lattice rectum. Okay, lattice rectum is 10. Okay, for that, yes, we'll figure out what is the what is that also. So just give us a few minutes. So where exactly we were? Yes. So the equation of the parabola would be what? 11h square plus 4k square. Then we have plus constant term I'll be talking about. So it is what? 10 minus 10k. So yes, it is done. Okay. We also have what? This is 48 into 4. So somewhere on what? 192 minus of 192, 10, 202 h. 202 h. And sorry guys, there is one mistake which I have committed. When I was squaring it, it would become 25. Sorry, it was become 25. 5 square 25. Then we have 25 here. Then it will become what? 2 into 25, 50. That's my mistake. 25 again, and 25 here, and this will become 50. That's my mistake, because I just realized that when I was seeing the terms, they are not getting cancelled. So just give me a few minutes. Yes. Okay, so this is let's simplify this. So I'll have what? 9h square. Then I'll have what? 16k square. And I'll 25, and then this is then I'll have 5 26. I'll also be having, this is 192, and this plus, so I'll have what? 242h, and this is 48 into 3. So 140 minus of 144, and this is negative, so 94k. So this is done, done, and this is also done, so I am left with what? Minus of 24hk. Clear? Yes, I'm done with all the terms. Okay, so this is your equation. We can just simplify it. I'll tell you also how exactly we can simplify it further. But before that, yes, as this guy has told me, we have figured out the axis. What we can do is axis intersections. So 3x minus 4y plus 7 So 3x minus 4y plus 7, and then we have this line 4x plus 3y minus 24 is equal to 0 is equal to 0. So let's multiply this with 4 and let's multiply this with 3. So when I do that, when I add both the equations, what do I get? 9x plus 16x and plus 21 minus 96 is equal to 0. So this becomes what? 25x is equal to, this is minus of 75, right? 75 would come here. X will be what? 3. When x is 3, you punch it here, so 9. 9 plus 7 is what? 16. So y becomes what? 4. Here, so we have intersection point of directrix and vertex is at what? 3, 4. So let's find out minus 1 and 1's midpoint. That will be what? Our vertex. So midpoint will be what? 3 minus 1, so 2 upon 2. So 1 and 4 upon 4 plus 1 by 2. So 5 by 2. So 1, 5 by 2 is vertex. Yes, absolutely right, SYM. Very good. And so we are done with vertex. We are done with the axis. Now we are talking about the length of the latus rectum. So perpendicular to the axis. So that means our latus rectum will be parallel to the directrix. So that means slope will be the same for directrix and latus rectum. It will be passing from the focus. So line passing from focus. So y minus 1 slope minus 4 by 3 into x plus 1. So this will be your equation for latus rectum. So what will be that? That will be size of y minus 3 is equal to minus 4x and then minus 4. So this will be what? 4x plus 3y will be equal to what? Minus of 1. So this will be what? Our latus rectum. SYM24 has not written the answer for latus rectum's equation. So this is the equation of latus rectum. Now you want to figure out the length of latus rectum. What is the length of latus rectum? That is 4a for standard parabola, right? 4a for standard parabola, correct? So now just check here. What is a? A is called the distance between the vertex and focus, or maybe you can say distance between the vertex, perpendicular distance between vertex and directrix, correct? So luckily we know, since as we know the focus and directrix intersection point, we can just calculate this distance and we can just divide it by 2. That will be what? Our A. So let's calculate the distance. So this distance would be what? 3 plus 1 whole square plus 4 minus 1 whole square. So that will be what? That will be 9 plus 16, 5. So this is your what? Distance between focus and directrix, vertex and directrix intersection point. So half of it, that means 5 by 2 will be A. So A will be what? 5 by 2. Latus rectum's length is what? 4A. So 4 into 5 by 2 will be what? 10. So whatever SYM has written, that's absolutely right. Hi Swam Prakash Malik. Hi, hello. Adya says, sir, did the lecture start at 8? Yes, Adya, lecture started at 8 and this is our first question. This is for any general parabola. For any general parabola, this is the question we just solved. I hope everything is clear with everyone. Okay, so let's start our session. Okay, so this session, so the very first concept here is condition for conic sections. So any quadratic in x and y, quadratic, or you can say second degree equation in x and y can be represented like this. Okay, now this equation will represent either parabola or let's say circle or maybe ellipse, hyperbola. So how would we know that? So for that I'll be explaining the conditions. So as we know, for circle is what? For circle it was very clear to us. A will be equal to V, coefficient of x square and y square would be equal, and h would be equal to 0. So that was the condition for circle. But for hyperbola, for parabola, it would be what? First this determinant AHG, AHG, B, okay, AHG, HBF, GFC. This determinant for parabola, this determinant is not going to equal to 0 first. Then second would be what? For h square minus AB, this will be equal to 0 for parabola. Whereas for ellipse, this is not going to be equal to 0, but h square minus AB is going to be lesser than 0. Similarly for hyperbola also, this is not going to be 0, but h square minus AB is going to be greater than 0. So these are the conditions for parabola, ellipse and hyperbola. Whereas for rectangular hyperbola, we get an extra condition. What is that? The same condition what is there for hyperbola, but we get an extra condition, that is a plus b will have to be equal to 0. Remember that. Okay. So Swam says, sir, have you taught ellipse and hyperbola? No, Swam Prakash Malik. We started conic section with parabola. Once parabola gets over, we will start ellipse. Then we would end up with hyperbola. Then our 2D will be over. Then we can start 3D, because I know you have all the fresh concepts. Your concepts for 2D will be completely fresh. Now I'll take those concepts to 3 dimension, your 3D. Then we can easily solve 3D geometry. Okay, so in a way our coordinate will be completed. Cool. So okay, so I hope everything is clear regarding the conditions for conic sections. Okay, so let's move ahead and let's discuss other things. Okay, so let's talk about the properties of focal chord. Now what is this focal chord? First try to understand. Focal chord is something, you can say a chord of the parabola which passes from where? From the focus. So you can say this is like a focal chord, or any line which is passing from focus, that will be what? Focal chord. Clear? Now let's find out the properties of focal chord. Let's find the relationship between the ends, or between the coordinates of the ends of this focal chord. So let's assume if this focal chord meets 2 points of the parabola at these points. I'm again taking parametric form. The reason is very simple, that instead of taking, let's say, x1, y1, x2, y2, I am incorporating what? 4 variables. But I can directly reduce it to 2 variables if I introduce parametric form. So dealing with 2 variables is easier for me. So at square, 8t1 square and 2at1. This is for, see, these are parametric form for this is standard parabola. Y square is equal to 4ax. Remember that. And let's say this, the other end is what? A t2 square comma 2a t2. Clear? Okay. So now let's try to find out the equation of focal chord. Equation of focal chord. When I know 2 points, so how would I write that? Y minus y2, so 2a t2 is equal to what? Then I'm sorry guys, I wrote this y. Let me just erase it. Give me a moment. If anyone is not getting anything, yes, you are free to ask doubts. You can just leave a comment. Then it will be what? Twice of a t1 minus twice of a t2 upon a t1 square minus a t2 square multiplied with, I'll just make some space for myself, right? into x minus a t2 square. Okay, now this is the equation of focal chord, but we have to find the condition. Okay, now as I know that this focal chord is passing from this given point, focus a comma 0, so let's put the value here in this equation of the line. So when I put a comma 0, so what do I get? Minus 280 is equal to what? I can take 2a common from here. So when I take 2a common, I can take a from denominator common, so a will cancel out, so I'll have what? T1 minus T2. Whereas from denominator I have T1 square minus T2 square. This would become what? T1 minus T2 and T1 plus T2. A square minus B square formula. Okay. Then I have A minus A T2 square. I can again take A common, so I'll just take it at common, 1 minus T2 square. Okay. So this and this will cancel out. My 2a will cancel out with this. So I left with what? Minus T2. So I'll just cross multiply. So minus of T1 T2 minus of T2 square. This will be equal to what? 1 minus T2 square. So minus T2 square will cancel out. So as you can see, my T1 T2 is what? Minus of 1. So what is the condition here? The condition is, if we take parameters T1 and T2 for these two focal chords ends, so I find that T1 T2's product is what? Minus 1. So if I want to write T2 in terms of T1, so how would I write it? 1 upon minus of 1 upon T1. Okay, so the other end would be what? The other end's coordinate would be what? Eventually a upon T1 square minus twice of a T1. Okay, I hope that's clear with you guys. Adya says what? I think it is the chord of parabola that passes through the focus is focal chord. Yes, that's what I said. Yes, Adya, that's what I said. Okay. So this is a very good relation. Remember that, because it will help you. So now how would it help us? See, initially we were using 2 points, x1, y1, x2, y2. We were having 4 variables. We reduced it to 2 variables. How? We introduced parameters T1 and T2. Now, since it's a focal chord, now instead of using 2 variables, the condition we have got, we can write both the coordinates, both the ends coordinate only in one variable. That is what? T1. So just imagine, if we get any question, we only need to find out one variable. That's it. If you know one variable, we can know the two coordinates. So that means 4 variables can be known if you know only one variable. So that's the benefit we have got. Okay. SYM names is Siddharth. Okay. Swam Adya says, no sir, Swam Prakash Malik asked what if focal chord. So okay. Sorry. So one condition is done. Let's calculate the length of the focal chord. So could you guys, will you guys please solve or tell me what is the length of a focal chord? Come on guys, tell me what will be the length of focal chord. Let's not waste our time. Come on guys, let's solve it. Okay, so either you can use distance formula. If you are not willing to use distance formula, then tell me how would you solve that. Okay, so fine, I'll use green color to calculate the length. So one way is, either we know this distance, this much, and then this much, then I can add both of them, or otherwise, since I know the coordinates, so I can directly use distance formula. Whichever way you find good, you can just do that. Let's say I'll use distance formula for these 2 points. So this will be what? Root of, I can take a common, so it will become a square, then t1 whole square minus 1 upon t1 whole square. So this, then plus I can take 2a common. So what will I have? I have t1 plus 1 upon t1's whole square. Correct? And this when I take 2a common, so again the square of 2a will be also there. Like this. Clear? So I'll just simplify it. I'll again take a square common from square root. So I'll have a already common. Then square root of what? t1 square minus t2 square. So see guys, t1 square minus t1 upon t1 square. That is what? A square minus b square sort of term. Correct? What I'll do is I'll take t1 plus 1 upon t1 as common from both the terms. So when I do that, what do I see? t1 plus 1 upon t1 as common from both the terms multiplied with 1 plus 4 times this will be what? t1 plus 1 upon, sorry guys, I made a mistake. I have to write this t1 minus 1 upon t1. So I'll just write it once again. Just give me a moment guys. I forgot to write that. Okay. So I have taken what? t1, this t1 plus 1 upon t1's whole square as common. So I am left with what? t1 minus 1 upon t1's whole square. So I'll just do it. t1 square plus 1 upon t1 square minus of 2 plus. Now I am left with what? Here 4 only. What? 4. And then this is 1. So 4. So now minus 2. This is your plus 4. I'll have plus 2. So this can be further written as what? A t1 plus 1 upon t1's whole square. And this will also become what? t1 plus 1 upon t1's whole square. So I can directly write as raised to 4. Now I'll be taking it square root. So what will I get? I'll get a into t1 plus 1 upon t1's whole square. So this will be the length of the focal radius. So focal length. I hope this is clear with everyone. This will be the focal length. A into t1 plus 1 upon t1's whole square. What does SYM 24 says? Points would be easy to calculate, then we can find it by distance formula. Yes, SYM 24, that's what I have done. Okay, so this is the distance. So remember it. What is that? A t1 plus 1 upon t1 whole square. Remember it. This is your length. Now tell me what if I want to write the focal chord's length in terms of angle. Now what is that angle? Angle is, let's say if it makes angle theta with the x-axis. So what will be the length? What will be the length? Let's solve it guys. Come on guys, tell me, how would you solve that? Okay, so I'll just help you out in this. You can just use geometry the way I have used it earlier also. See, you can draw perpendicular from here and from here also. So you know this is angle, this angle is theta, and this line is what? Parallel to the x-axis. So this will also become what? Theta. So you have already calculated this. True. When you have calculated this, so why don't you just calculate when you know the distance of this, let's say, you can take any perpendicular distance also, whatever you feel like, that's all up to you. Okay, then you can transform it directly into angles form. You can find t in terms of theta, then you can substitute t here, t1 here in terms of theta, and you'll find the answer. Okay, let's not argue here in the class. Adya, Swam, chill, let's pick a piece. Okay, let's not focus there on chat, let's focus there on class. Come on guys. Okay, so now listen to me very carefully what I'm saying. I want all of you to find T, T1, or you can say T1 in terms of theta or as a function of theta. Let's do that. Tell me, what do you get? Come on, everyone. Get me T in terms of theta. Come on, everyone. Adya, Swam, SYM24, and whosoever is there in the class, get me T1 in terms of theta. Use this trigonometric property. Okay, see guys, come on guys, come on Adya. Okay, so now this is there for you guys for homework. So I want all of you to tell me the answer tomorrow. Now let's move ahead and solve our next question. So this question is what? Find the harmonic mean of SP and SQ. Given S is the focus of the parabola and P and Q are the ends of the focal chord. Okay, so I'll state this question to you guys. Let's say there is a standard parabola. This is your y square is equal to 4ax. S is your focus, which is a comma 0, S, and it says that P and Q are the ends of the focal chord. Let's say this is P and this is Q. Then we have to find the geometric mean. Geometric mean of the SP and SQ. What is that? Twice of SP into SQ upon SP plus SQ. Okay guys, give me the value of this SP, this geometric mean of SP and SQ. Let's find out. I give you guys 1 minute. SYM24 says cos minus 1 upon T. No. SYM24. Okay, so that's what you have found. T in terms of theta. SYM, I guess you didn't get what I said. I said I need T. I need T's value in terms of theta. I guess you are not getting it. What I said. I said get me T. So okay, so I'll just make the equation for you. So what I'm saying is, so let's say if I write let's say sin theta. So sin theta will be what? Perpendicular distance. So what is that? 2a T1 minus 1 upon T1 upon. Okay? So this is what? Y2 minus Y1. That's what I have done. So this is actually, this is plus 2a T1 plus 1 upon T1 upon what? Your hypotenuse. Hypotenuse, we just calculated the length. A upon T1 plus 1 upon T1's whole square. So A will cancel out. And this T1 plus 1 upon T1 and T1 plus 1 upon T1 square is there. So this will cancel out the power. So finally I will be left with T1 plus 1 upon T1 is equal to what? 2 upon sin theta. So 2 upon sin theta will become what? Twice of cosec theta. So that's what you'll get. So but now what I want you to give me T. Give me value of T in terms of theta. But what you have given me here, you have given me something cos inverse something in terms of T. That's, I have not asked. I have asked T in terms of theta. Once you get T in terms of theta, I would suggest, though you do not need to find it. Why? I'll tell you. See, look at here. T1 plus 1 by T1 is what? Twice of cosec theta. You can directly put here T1 plus 1 upon T1's value here directly. When you put it, what do you get? A into 4 times cosec square theta. So what it becomes? 4 times A cosec square theta. And this is your length in terms of angle. If angle of the focal chord is given to you, then directly you can find the length of the focal chord. It would be A into 4 times cosec square theta. Okay, here let's move back to our question. I want all of you to find me or give me the value of what? Geometric mean of SP and SQ. I gave theta in terms of T. Yes, that's the opposite thing. You didn't listen to my question. No issues. Now what I'm asking? I'm asking you to give me geometric mean of this SP and SQ. Come on, let's solve it. I've given you guys a minute. Yes. I have put the timer on. Adya says, sir, I am confused. Adya, yes, tell me. Where exactly you lost? Tell me. Adya, where have you lost? Okay, so I'll just give you guys a hint. You can help yourself out. So see here, what is P? Let's say if P's coordinates are AT square twice of AT, then the coordinate of Q will be what? A upon T square minus of twice AT. Correct? So these will be the coordinates for Q point. Now you can just calculate the distance of SP and SQ. So what will be SP? Root of A T square minus A whole square plus 4 times A square T square. Correct? Let's solve it further. So what do I get? I can take A common. So it will become what? A square. A square out of square root will be what? A. So I have what? T square minus 1 whole square. So T raised to 4 plus 1 minus what? 2T square plus 4T square. This will be converted into what? A into 1 plus T square whole square. So that could be written as 1 plus T square because square root is there. Similarly, if you look at for SQ will be what? A upon A into 1 plus 1 upon T square. This will be your SQ. Now just put the value of SP and SQ in the above formula. Then tell me. Come on SYM, come on Adya, and come on Swayam Prakash Malik. Adya, you can just ask me wherever you have lost. I'll help you out. Okay, so no one has given me the answer, so it's okay. So I'll directly put the value of SP and SQ above. So when I do that, what do I see? Twice of SP is what? A times 1 plus T square. Okay, A into 1 plus T square into, again, so A square 1 plus 1 upon T square upon, what is SP? SP is A plus AT square plus A upon T square. So as you can see, A can be taken as common, so it will get cancelled out. So what do I have now? 2A into, I can just cross multiply. If I cross multiply, what do I get? 1, then 1 upon T square plus and T square plus 1 upon, in denominator also I have the same term. See, 1 plus T square plus 1 upon T square. So numerator and denominator's term will cancel out. So I am left with what? 2a. So as you can see, the geometric mean of SP and SQ is what? Half of the latus rectum. Latus rectum is what? 4a. Half of the latus rectum. So this is also one of the properties. One of the properties you can remember, that if we have focal chord and if we want to calculate the geometric mean of SP and SQ, the geometric mean will be half of the latus rectum. SYM it's 2a, not 2, it's 2a. I am talking about the general curve. Okay, I hope you got that. I want all of you to just take this question as one of the properties. Remember that as one of the properties. Okay, let's go to our next question. The next question is, prove circle described on the focal length. Listen to me very carefully. What it says, focal length as diameter. Prove that circle described on the focal length as diameter touches the tangent at the vertex. So what it says, the question is, let's say I have a parabola, y square is equal to 4ax, and this is my focus a comma 0, and let's say this is my focal length. Okay, now let's say if I draw any circle considering this focal length as diameter. So when I draw a circle considering this as diameter, what do I see? We have to prove that this circle touches this line, because this is the only tangent at the vertex of the parabola. So what I mean to say is, this touches what? Y-axis. What do you have to prove? That this circle touches the y-axis. That's what you have to prove. Okay guys, tell me, how are you going to solve this question? Yeah, 2a, unfortunately pressed enter before pressing A, sir. No issues, that's why you have no issues. Now let's prove this. I give you guys again a minute. You guys can tell me what process you have used to solve this question. Okay, tell me one thing. If you remember, I'll give you a hint. How can you prove that it touches the y-axis? Do you remember when we were studying circle, and in circle when I was teaching you different forms or different equations for circle, and then we were talking about when circle touches the y-axis, when circle touches the x-axis, when circle touches both the axes. So what all conditions we had? You can just use any of those conditions. Right? Obviously, when circle touches the y-axis, you can use that condition. Or the other condition could be the y-intercept. The intercept of the circle on the y-axis is what? 0. So twice of root f square minus c. This should be what? 0. Okay, I hope you got that. So let's solve this. Okay, let's move ahead. I'll help you out with this. So let's say we can give again parametric form, at square comma 2at. Fine. So if we give these coordinates to the other end of the focal length, so this point. So do you remember the equation of circle when we have diameter's coordinates? Remember that? That was what? X minus x1. x minus a into x minus at square plus y minus 0, then y minus twice of at is equal to what? 0. That was the equation, correct? So now what you can do is you can simply multiply everything. So what do you get? X square minus x at square minus ax plus a square t square plus y square minus 2at y is equal to 0. Clear? Now, if you remember, I told you something, that if this circle is touching the y-axis, then what should happen? Then we should get what? F square is equal to c. The y-intercept should be 0. Sorry guys, there is some with the pen tab. Okay, it should be what? 0. So if it is 0, then y square is equal to c, correct? So what is y? Then f square is equal to c. What is f here? F is your what? X, your y coordinate of center, right? Correct? So let's check it out. What is that? So see, coefficient of y. The coefficient of y is this. Only this is the y coefficient. Anything else? No, we don't have anything else. So let's square it. So I'll have what? At's whole square. Clear? This will be equal to what? So this should be equal to what? Constant. Now let's check out the constant term here. This is not constant, this is not constant, this is not constant. Only this is the constant. And you can see that it is coming out to be what? Equal to c only, constant term. So f square minus c is coming out what? 0. A square t square minus a square t square, 0. So I can clearly say that this circle touches the tangent at vertex. So again, let's remember this as one of the properties of parabola. If we have any focal length and if we consider focal length as diameter, then that circle described on the focal length as diameter will touch the tangent at the vertex of parabola. Remember this property, this is very useful. Let's move ahead. Let's go for one more proof. SYM24, Adya, Swayam Prakash Malik, what happened? You guys seem completely lost. Is it difficult for you to understand? Come on guys, revert. You can say, if you're finding it difficult, we can do it again. It's okay. You guys should feel comfortable. No response from them. Okay, so we'll go to our next question. So in this question, what we need to prove is that circle described on the focal chord. Now this time we don't have focal length. Focal length is distance between focus and the point on the parabola. This time we are talking about focal chord. Focal chord is what? Distance between both the ends of the focal chord on parabola. Okay, so focal, if you consider focal chord as diameter, then this circle would touch the directrix. Okay, so how would you do that? Again, it's very simple. What we can do is we'll just find out the circle. We have the what? We have the coordinates. Obviously, when we'll have the equation of the circle, we'll also have the coordinates, true, of the center. Then from center we can just calculate the perpendicular distance. That distance should be equal to what? The radius of the circle. Clear? So we can easily do that. Okay, so let's see. This is my standard parabola. This is my focus, a comma 0, and let's have my focal chord, and this is my directrix. X plus a is equal to 0. I have to prove that if I draw a circle considering it as diameter, this circle is going to touch, sorry, I'm really sorry for my drawing. This circle touches the directrix. So that's what we have to prove. So see, coordinate of these points will be what? AT square 2AT. Then this point will be what? A by t square, comma, minus of 2AT. Correct? Now, what will be the radius? If this is the diameter, so midpoint will be what? Midpoint will be center. So what will be the center? AT square plus A upon t square by 2. So we can take A common, so A by 2, t square plus 1 by t square. Clear? This is my this x coordinate for this. Then what will be y coordinate? Y coordinate will be this. Twice of A t plus minus of twice of A by t upon 2. So I can take 2A common, so 2 will cancel out, so I'll have A t minus 1 by t. Okay, so this is what? This is my k coordinate for the center. Clear? Now from this point, if I draw perpendicular to the directrix, this should be equal to what? This should be equal to the radius. Now how can I calculate the radius? It's very simple. Now what was the length of focal? What was the focal length? Remember what we solved earlier? It was a focal length was what? A1 plus it was 1 plus t square, right? 1 plus, okay, it was 1 plus t1 plus 1 upon t1 whole square. It was 1 t square plus t whole square. This was it. T plus 1 upon t whole square. T plus 1 upon t whole square. Correct? What this is, let x be the center of circle, and then I showed its radius says xc equal to its perpendicular distance x from the directrix xd, okay, is equal to xa, which implies xd is the radius of the circle. Yes. So this is our focal length. So half of the focal length will be what? Your radius. So what will be the radius? A by 2 t plus 1 by t whole square. This is your radius. Correct? Now if we get the perpendicular distance of the directrix from the center as this length, as radius, then I can clearly say that this directrix is touching the circle, which is having focal chord as diameter. Right those? So now perpendicular distance will be what? Perpendicular distance will be mod of x. X will be what here? A by 2 t square plus 1 by t square plus a upon root 1. Clear? Okay, let's do it once again. Then I can take a by 2 as common. If I take a by 2 as common, what do I see? I see it becomes what? T square plus 1 upon t square plus 2. Now this is what? This is nothing else. It is just a by 2 t plus 1 upon t's whole square. And as you can see that this is what? Half of the focal length. That means radius. So this perpendicular distance from the center is what? Equal to the radius. That means my directrix is what? It is touching, or it is the tangent for the circle. Right friends? What about SYM 24? What do you say? What about Swam Prakash Malik? I hope you are there with me. I hope you are getting everything. So again, this is one of the properties you can remember. Where are we lost, guys? Okay, let's go to our next question. Okay. Now let's solve this question. Circle drawn having its diameter equal to focal distance. What? Equal to focal distance of any point lying on the parabola. So this is the parabola. So on this parabola there is a point lying. This will touch a fixed line. Find its equation. So circle drawn having its diameter equal to focal distance. Remember what? Focal distance of any point lying on the parabola, x square minus 4x plus 16 plus 10 will touch a fixed line. Find its equation. Guys, just give me a moment. I think there is a problem in this question because there is no y term. So let's not solve this question. I'll correct this question in some time. Let's not solve this. Let's go to our next question. Let's solve this question. I request you guys to solve this question. I'll figure out what is the right question. If the line passing through the focus S of the parabola, so this is our parabola and this is our focus S, meets the parabola at P and Q. Yes, SYM24. Yes, what you are saying, yes, absolutely right, but that question is not correct, I feel, because there is y term missing. Okay, so let's just hang on for a while. I'll correct that question, then only you solve that question. Okay, so let's come to this question. If the line passing through the focus S of the parabola y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c meets the parabola at P and Q. Okay, and SP is given at 4, SQ is given at 6. Then we have to find the value of A. Now tell me, how would you solve that? Again, we have to use one property. What is that property? You know it very clearly. Yes, it's easy. So what you need to do is, okay, I give you guys 45 seconds because I think everyone wants to solve this question. So fine, solve this question. Meanwhile, I'll just check what is the correct question. What was the correct question for previous? SYM says T2 is equal to minus 1 upon T1. I didn't get it. Why are you writing this? You can directly use the property which we just solved. Other says A is what? 5 by 48. Okay, let's check. Okay, let's check. See, first I'll just convert this into standard form so that things become simplified for me. So what will I do? I'll just write y by c. Fine. Then I can take a common. When I take a common, so what do I get? When I take a common, so I have what? X square plus bx by a. Correct? See, I have taken c here. One, it became y minus c, and from the right hand side I have taken a common, so it became this. So I'll make perfect square. So both the side, when I want to make perfect square, so what do I need to do? I'll just take a, this is common, so I can take x square here plus b by ax plus, what will I do? Bx by a. Okay, and to make it perfect square, I'll be adding by this b square by 4a square. What is that? This is what? B by 2a. Okay, so b by 2a is whole square. Similarly, I'll be adding the same term here, b square by 4a square. Okay, so what do I get? So here, as you can see, I get what? Y minus y plus or I can take minus. Let's take it minus only, so that becomes clear to you that where exactly we have shifted the curve. Okay, so y minus b square. Oh, sorry guys, again okay. So that I'll keep it, let's say, minus and then plus c. Okay, and this is equal to what? A times x plus b by 2a's whole square. See, if you square it, what will you get? X square plus b by 2a into 2x. So 2 will cancel out. So what will you have? B by ax plus b by 2a's whole square. Clear? Okay. Then just look at this. If I want to compare this with the standard form, see, this seems the vertex and this seems what? I can write it as capital Y square as a into what? This is x, right? Now tell me guys one thing. If I want to compare, see, now this is your term. So looking at this, what do I see? Latus rectum is what? Latus rectum is, if I want to write down the length of the latus rectum, what is that? That seems to be a here, right? So half of the latus rectum is what? A by 2. So half of the latus rectum is what? Geometrical mean of SP and SQ. What is that? 2 into SP is what? 4 into 6 upon 10. Correct? So A will be what? A will be, so this will go here. So I'll have what? 2 into 2, 4, 16. So I'll just, let's say, I'll cancel out these terms. So I've got 24 into this. So 48 by 5. So 48 by 5 will be, let us, 48 by 5 will be the value of A. Just wait a minute guys, because my phone has got switched off, so I'm just using my different phone so that I can communicate with you guys. Just give me a moment. I'm connecting with you guys. Whosoever is having doubt, you can just leave a comment. I'll read it. Yes. Whosoever is having doubt, you can just SYM24. What's your doubt? On left hand side, only b square by 4a square. Why did you say that only b square? I didn't get this. Can you please explain me? Can you please explain me this, SYM24? Why have you said this? Oh yes, absolutely right, absolutely right. What you said, yes, absolutely right. Because a will be multiplied to this term, so I'm adding at the same term. Correct. Sorry, my bad. That's my mistake. Yes, absolutely right. That's my mistake. When I was adding, so it will be what? A into b square by 4a square. So eventually it will be what? B square by 4a. Correct. Sorry, I just, while writing, I just made this calculation mistake. Correct. Thank you, SYM24. Thank you. Thanks a lot for just mentioning it. I just made the calculation error when I was going very quick. But Adya, could you please check your answer? How are you getting this 5 by 48? It should be the other way around, 48 by 5. Can you please check it? What about others? What are you guys getting? Are you guys getting 48 by 5 or 5 by 48? What about other guys? Okay. Okay, fine. Let's go to our next concept. The concept is intersection of a parabola and a line. Okay. Now it's very much similar to what we did in circle. So let's say this is your line y is equal to mx plus c, and this is your parabola, what, y square is equal to 4ax. Now if I want to find the intersection point, what will I do? I'll just substitute the value of y here in parabola's equation and I'll get intersection points. So when I do that, what do I get? M square x square plus c square plus 2mxc minus 4ax is equal to 0. Correct? So this is my quadratic m square x square plus 2mc minus 4a into x plus c square is equal to 0. Correct? Now tell me one thing. It's very obvious, guys. If we are actually having these parabola and line cutting each other, then we must get what? Real values of x, right? If we are getting real values of x, that means what? The discriminant of this quadratic equation should be what? Greater than 0. If it is cutting at 2 points. If it is just touching, then discriminant what should be? 0. And if they are not intersecting each other, then discriminant should be less than 0. We should get imaginary values of x. Here on these imaginary values of x, this line and parabola, they are intersecting. So not cutting. Correct? So let's figure out this discriminant. What is discriminant here? B square. So this will be what? 4m square c square plus 16a square minus 4amc. Clear? Right, guys? Sorry, 4. Why am I writing 4? 4 and this 2 into this 4. So 16, sorry. 16amc. Correct? So this is a b square minus 4ac. So 4m square and c square should be greater than 0. So what is that? So this 4m square c square will cancel out. I have 16 common, so 16 will go towards, let's say, right hand side. So I have what? A square should be what? A square minus amc should be greater than 0. In other way around, I can say a minus, I can take a common. So a minus mc should be greater than 0. For a common, yes. Yes. So this is your condition. Yes, this is 4 square, 16a square, correct, minus 8. So if you are having this sort of thing, then I can clearly say I'll have certainly real roots. If not, then what will I say? That if it is less than 0, then I would say that they are not cutting each other. Now since as you know that this is what parabola's equation is, what y square is equal to 4x. Here I know that a is what greater than 0. So I can just remove this a and I can directly get what? A minus mc should be greater than 0. Okay. So I hope this is clear with you guys. And now tell me one thing. If they are touching, if let's say this line is a tangent to the parabola, then what will be the condition? Condition will be what? A will be equal to mc. So C will be equal to what? A by m. So you can remember this condition. This is very useful condition. Sometimes we can use it to find equation of tangent in terms of slope. I'll tell you how. It's very easy. See, y is equal to mx plus c, correct? So y mx, we have considered this as a tangent, let's say, and c can be written as what? A by m. When you write a by m, that clearly means that this line, this straight line is what? Tangent to the parabola. I hope this is clear with everyone. Correct, guys? Okay. So we have more questions based on this concept, and we have a lot to do. So I am just thinking, we'll just start solving these questions from tomorrow onwards. But let me just check the question, the previous question. What was the correct question? We can just solve that question right now, because that's a very good question based on the properties of focal chord. So just give me a moment, guys. I'll just figure out what was the misprint in that question. Meanwhile, if anyone has any doubt, you're free to ask. You can just tell me what's your doubt so I can tell you. SYM24, Adya, if you have any doubt, you're free to ask. You can ask whatever doubt you have. Okay, so I guess we'll solve that question tomorrow only, because right now that file is not opening. That is taking a lot of time. So, and okay, sis, if I want to find the, let's talk about this. Okay, it's okay, tangent of a parabola. So remember, I told you one thing when we were studying circle, that whenever we need to write the equation of tangent, whenever we need to write the equation of tangent. So how would we do that? From circle onwards, for any second order, any second order curve. It could be ellipse, it could be parabola, it could be circle, it could be hyperbola. What do we need to do? We need to replace x square with x1, y square with y1, assuming that x1 comma y1 is what? Is a point on the curve. X as what? X plus x1 by 2. Y as y plus y1 by 2. Remember that? So we'll use the same analogy here. So it is what? Y square is equal to 4x. So let's say this is the curve, and at x1 comma y1 you want to write down the equation of tangent. So what will be that equation? Y square will convert into y into y1, and this 4ax will convert into what? X plus x1 by 2. So this will cancel out. So finally what will I have? 2ax plus x1 y1. So this is your equation of tangent. Hope this is clear with everyone. No issues, that's 724, it's okay. Okay, now let's say if I want to write this in parametric form. So in parametric form, this x1 y1 will become what? 8t square and comma 2at. So let's write down. So y into what is y1? 2at, and 2a, what is x and what is x1 here? A t square. As you can see, 2a will cancel out. So I'll have what? Yt is equal to what? X plus a t square. Or other way around, I can write it like this: y is equal to x by t plus a by t. Okay. Now, so this is a parametric form. Now I'll tell you one more good thing, very good thing. Now just imagine if I represent this line. If you remember, in the previous page, I wrote the equation of tangent like this in slope form. Mx plus what? C was what? A by m, right? A by m. This was what? Slope form. slope form. If just imagine anyone wants to convert, or anyone wants to, let's say, compare this slope form with the parametric form, what do I compare? I can see that it seems like as if my m, if I, let's say, compare the slope, what do I see? I see that m is equal to what? 1 by t. Similarly, if I compare the constant term also, I see the same thing, that 1 by m is what? Equal to t. This is your constant term and this is your slope. So this is a very useful relation, that if you want to interchange slope and parametric form, you can just replace them like this. M can be written as 1 by t. Okay, I hope this is clear with everyone. So we have discussed all the three forms here: normal x1 y1 form, your parametric form, and your slope form. Clear? Okay, so I guess this is enough for the day. Today we covered a lot of concepts. It was majorly theoretical portion, but this theoretical portion is useful for any question to be solved in Parabola. Trust me guys, I would request you, hope you have made the notes. If you have not made the notes, I would request you guys to just revise the lecture, just watch it again tonight or maybe tomorrow, and write down notes, because based on those notes we will be solving a lot of questions. Because tomorrow we have one more session in the morning for what? For this Parabola. So we'll be solving questions based on Parabola in Unacademy special live class. Better you prepare for it nicely. I hope everyone has understood today's lecture. So thank you guys. We'll just we'll say goodbye to our today's lecture. And this is my fun day series, which is being run on Unacademy application. This is special class, and why it is special? Because it's free of cost. You guys can come on the Unacademy application. Adya, you can come tomorrow around 11 a.m. Okay, those who have liked this video, I would request you guys to just press like button, share it with your friends, subscribe this channel, and hit the bell icon button so that you'll get notification in future if at all I come to give you a new class. And those who have planned to buy or subscribe Unacademy Plus or Iconic Subscription, do use this code NK001. You would get 10% off. Fine. Okay. Thanks a lot guys. And yes, in the description I have given you Telegram link also. So you can just join me on Telegram as well. If you have any doubt, you can post it on Telegram. Okay. But Adya, you can just you can watch the recorded lecture there, because you would find it really helpful. Okay guys. Thank you. Thanks a lot for being there. I really enjoyed the session. Thank you guys. Bye bye. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow at 7.